So thanks for coming today. And I guess I'm going to start out with a question. Why do you use technology in the classroom? Why are you guys each doing it? Okay, Mr. Horn.
Easier to connect with students.
Okay. So when somebody presents a new technology to you, what is the first thing you want to know? Okay, how do you do it?
How relevant and easy is it to operate?
Okay, ease of use.
How is it beneficial to the students?
Okay, I know none of you guys said how it's going to help you. So that's good. We as teachers, we sometimes think this technology, is it going to make my life easier? And then how is it going to make my students' lives easier? And I'm going to show you some technology today that hopefully will first make your life easier and then help with the students in making their lives a little bit easier, or at least understanding what they're doing in the classroom a little bit more. How many of you guys have used Google Sheets? Kind of. How many of you think spreadsheets are evil? You like spreadsheets? Oh, good, then you're going to like this. So Google Sheets is the Google version of Excel. Can you, oh, you can't see the code?
I don't know.
It's KJYE 19, yeah. So all of the materials are going to be up on this classroom, all the links to everything and instructions. I'll post tutorials for you as well to refresh your memory on how to do some things. So yeah, I wanted to start with Google Sheets because it's probably the most intimidating of the Google suites. We don't use it a lot with student instruction unless you're in a math class. So how can we use this tool in the classroom? How do you think you might use it in social studies?
I use it to keep track of grades or discipline.
Okay.
Some kind of roster, something.
Okay. There's actually some really cool, what they call Google add-ons. How many of you guys have played with any of the add-ons or Chrome extensions? A little bit? Okay. So within, I'm going to go ahead and open up Sheets here. I have one open. And they have this thing called the add-ons menu. And you can click Get Add-ons. And it'll take you to this whole thing. They have all sorts of add-ons that you can use for just for Sheets. And there's some really cool ones. We have a mail merge. We have some mapping where you can, some really cool mapping features within Sheets. And Flubber's vocabulary, all sorts of really cool things you can do with Sheets.
I don't have the add-ons thing.
Okay, do you have Go to Sheets?
Right there.
Okay, create a new sheet. Go ahead and create a blank one, yeah.
Okay.
And then you'll go to add-ons and then search for add-ons. And the first one I'm going to show you is one called Doctopus. And Doctopus is a classroom management organizer for student projects. This is great because when you install it, it can import assignments from Google Classroom and put all of the assignments on one spreadsheet. Okay. Now, there's an add-on that goes with this called Gubrick. That is an add-on for Chrome. You guys all know how to get to the Chrome store, yes? And this Gubrick extension works with Doctopus. And I'm going to show you how it all works together in a moment. You can see that there are two Gubrick extensions for Chrome. The first one is just like it says, it's for teachers, and it attaches a rubric. You make a rubric within Google Sheets, and it will merge it with the Doctopus extension and allow you to grade within the app. Now, Gubrick for Students will allow students to see their rubrics and to self-assess. So if you give them an assignment, they can use your rubric and grade themselves as kind of a reflective activity, and then move into doing any changes or revisions from that. So they get a chance to really look at the rubric and understand how that grading is going to work. And I'm going to walk you through really quick importing an assignment within this so you can see how it works. I'm going to go to my spreadsheet here, and I'm going to call this Scarlet, I'm going to just call it Scarlet Letter Assignment, because that's what we've been doing in my classes. And I'm going to go to the add-on, I'm going to start Doctopus. And it's going to work off to the side, and it's going to do some thinking. Now, can you already start to think of some ways that you might give your students a chance to self-assess some projects you have coming up? Cricket. Okay.
Well, I'm doing student teaching, so they have to keep up with us with a Google Slides presentation, but there's parts to it, so this might have that.
Yeah, this might help them. So I have my Doctopus up. So this just is a warning. You have to close it out every time. I'm going to select my mode. First thing I'm going to do is to ingest a Google Classroom assignment. And this takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to select the class. I'm going to go to my honors class.
Now, did you have to put the kids in?
Nope, it goes directly from Google Classroom. I'm going to pick an assignment. I am picking, let's see, this presentation assignment. I'm just going to pick this assignment and ingest the assignment. And it's going to take a moment, and it's going to pull up the assignment for the students. And again, it does take a little bit of time to work. So are there any questions so far?
Mine's not doing any of that.
What do you mean?
Well, I tried to do what you did.
Okay, let's see what's going on. Let's see your screen.
It keeps going to setup mode. And I click that. doesn't
Okay,
do it.
did you install the, go to add-ons? Okay, now, okay, it's finally opened up. So you go through and click, see where it says the yellow part where it says dismiss? Where you can dismiss it at the top? And on the, over about another, yeah, that one. You're going to click on that, and you're going to exit out of that view.
Where?
Right here. We're going to click on more, and then dismiss. And then you can select your mode, ingest the assignment, and go on. Okay. So, and it pops up again with assignment tools, and I'll click more, and I'll dismiss. And you see up here it says, if I've installed the Gubrick extension, it'll ask me if I want to attach a Gubrick. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just have to know which parts you're looking for.
So when you download Gubrick from the Chrome Store, it'll automatically be able to type in this?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Now, the trick is you do need to create your own rubric within this. And it's pretty easy that it, you know, your first column, you're going to describe the standards that you're using. Across the top, you're going to give it a numeric value. And I'll show you one of my rubrics in a moment. So I'm going to attach a rubric. And I'm going to pick up one of the recent rubrics that I've already used. And here's a web quest rubric I'm going to attach. And then I'm going to just attach it. Now, takes a little time to get set up, but once you're into it and doing the assignments, you can go from student to student and just click on the assessment. It'll save it, and then it will actually create another spreadsheet where all the scores are done. So you can take it from there and put it right into SDI. Again, it does take a little bit, but for the ease of grading, This is one of the perks for the English teachers. We use a lot of rubrics. For social studies, you're doing any type of big project. I know, Mr. Sellers, you're doing a presentation project. So you could actually have your students turn in their presentations, and as they do their oral presentations, you could assess them orally on this. Okay, so now I have, now if you look, it says assess presentation. This is the Google link. And so I'll open up the presentation, and it will open up the document eventually. And I will be able to go through and see, did they follow this? And I'll click for each slide, did they have the necessary components of this? So again, how would you use this, do you think, in your classes?
Well, they have a project coming up about famous scientists, so they'll have a rubric for that. And as they submit those in Google Classroom, you could use the rubric with that.
Thank you. So this is one way that it can make your life easier. I like this one, especially. This is probably my favorite add-on for Google Sheets. I'm really been always intimidated by spreadsheets. I don't make them myself unless I'm doing something like a rubric. I don't even like making a class roster with it because it stresses me out so much. But there are add-ons that will import the data for you. For somebody who is really confident in Google Sheets and Excel has done all this stuff. Now, there's another, and then you'll put a comment here. These comments in this box will show up automatically to students. It'll put the comments at the bottom of the rubric. So when students get a copy, they'll get a copy of the rubric on the bottom of their assignment. So if it's a Google Doc at the very bottom, a rubric will show up so they can see their grades, which is a really nice feature. And you can turn off student assessment mode, so if you don't want them to self-assess, you don't have to make that an option. Any questions so far? Okay, now there's another add-on I want to show you that I have not installed yet. It is called Flippity. Flippity. And this is really cool. It can turn your spreadsheet into flashcards and games. So I can see using this in, say, a Spanish class where you are giving the kids the opportunity to create their own set spreadsheet and to create their own set of flashcards. This is really cool. We're going to go ahead and install this one. And there's a website called flippity.net that walks you through all of the different options. You can see just how easy it is to install this particular, it's really quick. And so how are we going to use this? Again, you're going to create your own. So it tells you, go to add-ons, Flippity, pick a template to get started. The reason I'm doing it this way is because if I installed it ahead of time, you wouldn't see all these pop-up notifications on how to install it on this computer. So with add-ons, Flippity, let's pick a template. So we have flashcards, and these are going to demo to use. We have Quiz Show, which is going to turn it into a Jeopardy game. A random number picker. Now, there is a, this is where you can take that roster and do your random number generator. There was a Chrome extension that would allow people to randomly select, and they're discontinuing it as of January 1st. So this is the best substitute available. They even have, this is cool, a timeline. And there is one Chrome extension that will allow you to add a map in it, and we'll do alerts with it within this. You can add visual things to this, and there's a lot of cool stuff. So do we want to try let's go ahead and do a new spreadsheet. And let's go to technology is fine. Any questions so far? Okay. We're going to go to add-ons and flip it. Pick a template. Which template would you guys like to try? Flashcards? Okay. Yeah, I think this is probably going to be the one that's going to come up most with our students. And I want to encourage our kids to start using something beyond Google Docs to present information and Google Slides. We get in a rut with our kids that they are just using the same two tools. And here is, again, you must go to File, Publish, or Flippity to work. One of the things that we need to keep in mind is if we are making a digital worksheet, it is still a worksheet. We need to start using technology to transform how our kids are learning, not as a substitute for skills. You know, we're still doing a worksheet even if it's online. So how are we going to take their learning to the next level? And part of that is giving them control to create and collaborate on some of these projects. So here's some of these that are already done for us. And so you'll go through and you can make this our own little one. So you can create your own spreadsheet, and this is just a sample. Pretty cool so far? Any questions? Okay. Well, that kind of wraps up this of how to use Sheets, a couple of the basic tools to get you going with this. There's one other tool I wanted to show you guys today that I would bet you're not using at all. Didn't even know it was available. How many of you have heard of Google Keep?
Heard of it, but not using it.
Okay. It is so. So again, this just became part of G Suite for Education. It's keep.google.com. It's kind of like bookmarking, but they can make lists. They can share the lists. They can add pictures onto things. And now let's say you have a student that is struggling with the notes you're writing, keeping up. But that student doesn't always check what they need to check. You need to make sure that they are getting a copy of the notes that you have in your class. So you have notes on the board. You can have the student take a picture of the document in front of them or whatever you have on the board, and there's a mode in Google Keep that it will transcribe it. It will use that OCR software and will take whatever you took a picture of and turn it into text.
Well, then no one will take notes.
Well, we want to encourage them to take notes. This is more for sharing, like a group project. Let's say you're working in groups and you've taken notes together as a group, and oh my gosh, somebody always is absent on group day. They can't do the presentation, they can't work because Johnny is absent and he has all the notes. When they're working in Google Keep, they can each use their Chromebooks, take a picture of the document, and Google will put it onto one of the Keep sheets for them. Another way to do this, if they are doing a collaborative assignment or they're taking notes, they can use Google Keep to keep track of those notes. One thing I like to do is when they're doing their research projects for me, all of their research notes can go right in here. So they have to keep track of everything. They can color code them if you're doing some type of presentation. Help them with their everything about famous people from the Revolutionary War can go in one color. Battles can go in another color, and will help them visually organize their notes by topic because they can pick the different colors. Or if you're writing an essay, your body paragraph can be one color, second body paragraph another, and will help them organize. I have some students that benefit from having their vocabulary broken up into verbs, nouns, and adjectives. And they can organize vocabulary words by color and understand that when those vocabulary words are in this color, it will help them visually remember. So this is a great way to differentiate instruction for students. And again, this is not a tool that is being used really at all, at least in our school. So it's really easy. I actually have this to keep track of the standards I'm teaching. If I've taught the standard, I put a check mark by it. It moves it off my list. If I feel like I've covered it sufficiently for the students, I move it off the list, I know I can move on. It also has a way that has geographic reminders. What that means, if you have a reminder that when you get to work, you need to talk to a specific person, you put a geographic reminder in Keep, and as soon as you get in proximity to the building, Keep will send you an alert to your phone to remind you to talk to that person, which is a kind of a cool feature. Can you think about other ways that you might use? It's like collaborative Post-it notes. How do you think you might use those in the classroom? Mr. Sellers, any ideas? No? Your students working on a project,
Yes.
but do you think they might benefit from this versus slides?
No, they know slides and they're 8th graders, so I'm sticking with what they know.
Okay.
Don't confuse them.
Don't confuse them. What about you, Mr. Keefe?
Oh, I always like to tinker around with stuff. I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I have career prep too, so career prep is a class that I could try something with, and if it works,
Right.
I can figure out a way for it to use it in my
Right.
social
So
care class.
maybe give them a time management
Mhm.
schedule that they need to do, because they can send reminders to their Chromebook that they have an assignment coming up to turn in. That they added the to-do list back in Google Classroom, which is nice, but sometimes this might pull up a different notice for the students, so they can create, especially in our REACH classes, if we're working on the kids to help them with their time management and remind them of certain events coming up, they can create a Keep schedule, and they can check off when they've studied for that class when they've turned that assignment in. So that might be a way you can encourage it. What about you, Mr. Horn?
The reminders will probably help, remind students, like the example you gave about it, they just, talk some of the thesis statements, stuff like that, as far as color coding it and stuff. That's interesting.
You know, Mitchell?
You can use it to separate different topics, in a chapter.
Do you think more in stat science and Spanish?
Well, right now, yes, because I'm not teaching Spanish here,
Oh.
so, yeah,
Are no
my
Spanish
brain,
this year?
no, I don't teach Spanish here, I'm teaching at Central Alabama Community College.
Okay. We
Well,
can use this at the college.
Yeah, you too. But I can see using it because they do take notes from my presentation. And so you do have kids that miss certain topics and certain information, or they're called to the office. And, I can understand why they would need that to catch up on that information.
So could you see maybe using it as the kids write the notes down and then taking a picture of it so they don't lose their notes?
Perhaps, but,
I'm
I
thinking
see
of a
a lot
couple
of-
students that would.
yeah, they're gonna, some of them will lose something, that's absolutely correct, out of 72 of them. Somebody's gonna absolutely do that.
Yeah, one of the things you guys mentioned, that why you would use a new tool is for differentiation. Which tool do you think is going to help you the most as far as differentiation goes? Simplicity?
Yeah.
Which part of that do you think you're gonna use the most? Flashcards or the online games?
I'm gonna try the flashcards first, because we talked about that. Just try it, I mean.
Yeah, because most of the kids, they use what, Quizlet?
Quizlet, I was gonna say, we use Quizlet a lot. And so,
Right. But sometimes there's that quality of the Quizlet, sometimes they don't always put all of the information.
Yes, or they just try to get what someone else has already created.
Right.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Now, when you, it shows a spreadsheet that has information already imported into
Mhm.
it. Have you, tried importing that from different sites and different types of software to see what are imported and what will not?
As far as like taking it from like Excel and putting it into, or
Yeah, but
going
I'm just
from,
saying, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be Excel. It can be, Word or Access or,
as long as it goes into the spreadsheet format, if you can put the spreadsheet data in on the cells, it'll work. So I'm not, I'll be honest, I don't like using spreadsheets. Just as my own challenge, I will list information and I will copy and paste it over. I don't have a lot of experience importing it from Word, from tables. I'm sure it'll import the tables over. Because I know we don't want to reinvent the wheel if we already have all the information in one place. We just
Oh,
want
yeah,
to
we
copy
don't.
and paste it right over.
That's right. But I'm asking that because once you get it into Sheets, then you can incorporate all the other add-ons.
Right.
And then the sky's the limit. But if there not enough compatibility between,
There's compatibility between all the G Suites, so you can transport information from one, document to the other. So if I have a list of vocab words, I would just need to import it in, to keep it in Docs. I always go from Word to Docs to whatever else I need to use it for. The next training that I'm going to do is going to be talking about some of the things that you can do with Google Slides. There's some really cool add-ons with Google Slides. There's something called Pear Deck, which allows you to do your slides presentation and add interactive components to it for formative assessments, which I think could be really beneficial, especially they can label diagrams, which I think would be good for you, for the classes you're teaching. And you can see it, you can pull it up on your screen and see on the fly how the kids are doing, so if they really understand. And then some of the next sessions I'm going to be doing is really going into Google Slides to show you how to maximize Google Slides. And there's some really cool talk-to-text features that you can do on Google Docs, and I just found out, my mind is blown, there's an EasyBib add-on for Google Docs that will automatically create a bibliography for the kids. And it's MLA or NAPA. So if you're having the kids cite their sources, you can easily go in there and have them do that. They don't have to go.
well, they'll be glad to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. We've been trying to use EasyBib and Cite This For Me, and the kids are still struggling. And so I'm thinking, you know what, if we can just put the information right into Google Docs and highlight it, and it automatically cites it for them. We want our kids to learn, but this information is at their fingertips. Sometimes we have to adjust the things that we're teaching to reflect the technology that's available. And, we need to get the kids collaborating with each other more. So I hope you find this beneficial. Any questions for me?
Which one do you like the most?
As far as Flippity, or
Right.
I really like the Goober because I make my kids write so much. I use that one the most. I'm interested to try Flippity as far as the game goes. I think that will be interesting, but my students will be doing podcasts this next 9 weeks. So we are going to be doing some of those talk-to-text features because they're going to have to do a transcription and add the punctuation in. So we're going to be trying some different tools. But yeah, the reviews in English are a little bit different because we do a lot of big concept thinking and not a whole lot of, we do vocabulary, but it's not the same type of assignments. But yeah, I love Goobrick and I love Google Keep. As my kids are going to be working together on a long-term project, this is going to help them also keep their stuff organized. Because I do 9-week-long projects with my kids. So the organization is really important. Any other questions? Thank you for putting up with me.